Hi YouTube, Juke Baser here once again. As I said, I'm going to be constantly reminding you of the 5th of October, the biggest Black History Month event in Europe. It's actually a free event. You can get your free tickets on Eventbrite. That's in Birmingham on the 5th of October. But for more information, just listen to the advert.
After a huge success of the event last year, we're back. The Black History Activity Book Launch Part 2 with special guests the Royal Highness Queen Diambi of the Democratic Congo, Mfudishi, Charmaine Simpson, and Dr. Mark Wilcott. And don't forget Andrew Linder, the author of the children's activity books, will be interviewed by the host, Mandingo, Pan-Africanist Gaviite. Come and learn how great you are. Make sure you support all the vendors in the biggest African cultural market in the UK. This event will be held Saturday the 5th of October from 12 till 7 p.m. This event will be held at the Bingley Hall, 1 Hockley Circus, Hockley, Birmingham, B18 5PP. For stalls, call 07896 494 056. Follow Black History Activity Books on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This is a family event, so bring all the children to the Black History Activity Book Launch Part 2, the biggest Black History event in England. Get your free tickets from Eventbrite today.
Now that's on the 5th of October, Birmingham, England. This is the Juke Baser channel featuring MUTABARUKA on YouTube.
This is the Steppin razor, as we say. As we say, we have the scripture we really want to play. And we want the people them to listen carefully what's going on in the scripture. Here goes.
Now, I'm going to explain to you how your food is now being weaponized as an extermination vector to eliminate black lives. All right? Now, I'm a food scientist. I'm the author of Food Forensics. It achieved the #1 best-selling science book on Amazon.com. I'm the co-author of science papers that have been published in mainstream science journals. I'm not just a casual layperson when it comes to food science. I run a mass spec laboratory that's ISO accredited, validated, audited, inspected, passed many, many tests. Our data can be used in a court of law anywhere around the world. We do food analysis. We can search for complex molecules such as pesticides or elements such as mercury or cadmium. So I run the lab. I am the lab science director. I know a thing or two about food science. Now, what they have invented, when I say they, I'm talking about the genetic engineers, not only have they found a way to put these genetically engineered traits into food crops, they've now found a way to cause food crops to grow RNA fragments that can be specifically targeted like bioweapons to interfere with the physiological processes of targeted species that might eat the food. Now, this technology is called RNA interference technology. It's relatively new compared to GMOs, relatively new. It's being touted now as a technology to eliminate the use of pesticides because what they're saying is they can cause a corn crop to grow RNA fragments that will kill the insects that eat the corn without having to use pesticides like toxic chemicals that overload the insect nervous system and kill it from nervous system breakdown and so on. This RNA interference technology is a pesticide technology, but it doesn't rely on pesticide chemicals. It relies on RNA fragments in the food. Now, what's disturbing about this is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race of humans who eat the food. I want you to follow me very carefully on this because most people have never heard of this before. They've never heard of this technology. They don't know it can be targeted by race. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone. That technology is a reality. It's widely covered out there in the mainstream media, in the science media. RNA interference technology is widely covered. And they openly talk about how it can be used to target specific physiological processes of certain insect species. They can interfere with DNA repair or protein synthesis in insects. They can interfere with fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with mobility, a nervous system interaction with the musculoskeletal system, or depending on what animal we're talking about, other systems, endoskeleton systems. I ask you, does that technology exist? The answer is yes. It absolutely exists right now. Are they using that technology? I ask you, do a little bit of research. Look at the plummeting sperm production in black men. Sperm production is plummeting in black men. Sperm production is precisely the kind of physiological process that can be targeted by RNA interference technology. Now, is that proof that the food crops are being engineered to cause sperm production to plummet in black men? No, it's not proof. But when you connect the dots of all the other things that are being done covertly, this becomes something very likely in the realm of possibility. It would take a lot of advanced testing to find this out. And guess who controls the funding? Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. The same government that allows the CDC to cover up the truth about vaccines and black children. The same government that funds Planned Parenthood abortions of black babies. The same government that covers up the EPA-induced contamination of waterways affecting Native Americans and other populations, including the Flint, Michigan, predominantly black population. This government, same government that runs the FBI, that wanted Martin Luther King Jr. to commit suicide. It's the same government. The government is at war with you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you, and they want you exterminated, and they control the science funding, which means there will never be money for any genetic science of the food supply to uncover this truth. If it were there, it would be covered up like everything else has been covered up this entire time. Just like the Tuskegee experiments covered things up in the 1930s. Nothing has changed, except the technology is more advanced. The covert technology is more covert. The number of vectors through which they can kill you and cause you to have no children, cause you to have spontaneous abortions, the number of vectors is increasing. You are being targeted. And like I said earlier, to some extent, we're all being targeted. But black people are being targeted more than anyone else.
Yes. So, I know what people go down and listen to that now and I say, them think there's some conspiracy theory. Well, I can tell you something. Google the Tuskegee experiment. The Tuskegee experiment was an experiment on about 300 black men who was injected with syphilis. They were injected with syphilis to see what would happen based upon the information that they would gather, the reaction of the 300 black men. The Tuskegee experiment, it was Bill Clinton, during his presidency, came out and apologized for that experiment. If we come up more and we look at Bishop Tutu, who institutionalized, him bring up a thing named the Truth and Reconciliation in South Africa. And what this was to do is to all the people them who was doing things during the apartheid era would come to this court and confess them sins. There is a man, them call him the Doctor of Death. You can go Google these things, the Doctor of Death. As a matter of fact, I think him still living now because after him done pour out him heart at what he was doing to the ANC and to black people. Them say since him confess, him free to go. This man was creating viruses. He was creating virus that could only affect black people. And he was doing it in South Africa. Not only putting anthrax in the t-shirt them and giving the black people them, especially the ANC members them who was fighting against apartheid at the time, but also they was creating viruses that only black people would get these germs inside of them body and slowly poison them and kill them. This is not conspiracy theory. The man get up and admit these things in the court of truth and reconciliation, and him get off scotch-free. And I think him is still living today in South Africa. So when we hear these things, it sounds new to me, but when you dig deep and you find out how wicked these people are, especially if you're not white, because a whole heap of things with them say the disease them, why is it that so much disease in Africa? You feel say all of the disease them were taking Africa and in this part of the world, South America and everything there. It's not no act of God. It's men doing that, experimenting. When them experiment with rats and experiment with rat and experiment with rat, them say, all right, make you turn to human beings. And the more money you have, is the more you can carry out those threats. So, why we are saying this now? You hear the man talk about the food. The food is a weapon that is now being used against indigenous people and people of color. The food is what them using now to create diseases that the doctors them are trying to figure out where them diseases come from. Because it's not over like 1 year and 2 years them are do these things, you know. It's years, decades them are do these things. It's so like how them have a mosquito and them want to get rid of certain thing and them create another kind of mosquito to get rid of them mosquito there. And then the thing is like mad scientists. It's like some mad scientists at work. The food is very important to our survival. And I would hope, just like how I hear Mr. Shaw ball out the other day, the Jamaican people are eat too much genetically modified food. It's them that bring it into the country. It's them bring it in the country. Them do have no regulation for certain things. 3 of the most genetically modified food coming from America is wheat, soya, and corn. Wheat, soya, and corn is the main genetically modified food in America. And Jamaican people love dumpling. And we don't grow wheat. We don't ever grow rice, as a matter of fact. One time we used to have a rice thing go on in a Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth Island place. That gone, totally gone. There was a rice mill in that Spanish town, which part the car in my part now. The car part. There was a rice mill there. Well, people too young to know that. We used to go down to go get the darn and carry it and go beat it yourself. And shell out the rice outright and use the rice. Or you go down to Westmoreland and we carry up cocos bags of rice. You have all red rice on the Virginia and them plant. That not there again. Yet still Jamaican people eat rice. Enough rice. And enough dumpling. And for another level, corn meal is the next thing. Corn meal. And then them have the soya oil. The soya oil where we get from America. And we know, and them tell you say, soya, corn, and wheat is genetically modified in this time. And this is our mainstay in Jamaica. Most poor people love dumpling. And we love rice. And we now plant no rice. And we now plant no wheat. So we have to get it from the people them who don't have our interest at heart. And then we hear the Mr. Shaw ball and say, we are eating too much genetically modified food. It is the responsibility of government. It is the responsibility of governments that we are the people them falter at them own thinking and thought. The government supposed to come in and help. When I say the government must help everything, but the people will falter. And that is where the government must come in. So if you ball out about genetically modified food, you have to regulate the thing properly. That's what I say. Listen up. That was the drive time, 5 o'clock, top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Tune in later at 8:25 for another chance to win in top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, lucky 5, and cash pot draws. So, my brethren inside, so that's why I have to love him, so you know. He me talk about the doctor of death, and for those of you who want to understand what I say, must go up on him. Well, him go up on the iPad and him found it. But here I know, it's a very distressing, that distressing thing him find. What him found? Him found that this man, who was known as the doctor of death, now turned motivational speaker, going around in Cape Town, giving motivational talk to people who is when them claim anti-Semitic and all these things. Now listen to this. Apartheid chemical weapons expert gives talk to private members club in Cape Town in bid to rehabilitate his image. So we was telling you about him, Dr. Walter Bassan, a motivational talk, and him a talk motivational, giving motivational talk, but the part where I really want to find is the part where I was talking about what he actually did. Yes, he say, and I was talking about it because it happened in our lifetime, and I was following that court case keenly because it was part of the residue of apartheid. Gold, who was the Truth and Reconciliation Campaign researcher into Bassan's project course, points out that the evidence introduced in both the criminal trial and the TRC hearing indicated that he had ultimate control of the top secret military project involving bizarre and unethical experiments, including the testing of the drug Mandrax on soldiers. When Bassan was interviewed by filmmaker Bob Cohen for the documentary Anthrax Wars, screened in 2009, Cohen asked him about rumors that Project Coast worked on developing an ethnic weapon, the black bomb. Bassan responded, "That was great. That was the most fun I've ever had in my life. This is a man who create an ethnic bomb." You know what is an ethnic bomb? It only affects certain group of people. And in this case, black people. Just like the thing where we are talking about the food, where the man had told us them have the technology to develop food, we can only affect black people. This man create a virus that was only detrimental to black people in South Africa. And when them asked him about it, his answer was, "That was great. That was the most fun I've had in my life." Under Bassan, scientists also tried to develop an anti-fertility vaccine. Gold notes that during the TRC hearings, Truth and Reconciliation, they matter about, these scientists testified that they believe this vaccine was intended to be administered to black women without their knowledge or consent. Bassan was also involved in the Road Plot Research Laboratory, known to have conducted biological warfare experiments on animals, including dogs and horses. In one case, baboons were slowly poisoned to death over the course of 7 days. Details like these cast severe doubt on Bassan's testimony to the HPCSA last year that he was acting for the benefit of mankind and to limit loss of life. No, we don't have to read no more. No. Point made. The man is still alive and is now becoming a motivational speaker in South Africa. This man who created virus to kill only black people. So it's not a joke thing we are talking about. When you hear the man talk about them have the... He might talk about it now. This man had do it from during when Nelson Mandela them was in prison. Before Nelson Mandela got prison, at that time them man they had deal with it, you know. Yeah, 1981, them had developed these things to kill black people. So when we hear about these things, I will talk about like conspiracy theory. conspiracy theory is not necessarily something that don't go so. It just means it's a theory and it needs to be proven. So if you conspire to say something or to do something or to think something, you must prove the thing and get it out of the theory. So we talk about a conspiracy that was proven to be true. The man said it's the happiest time in my life when we did create these things to wipe out the black population in South Africa. The ironical thing, the ANC, when they was setting bombs in building, they make sure there's nobody in the building. Can you imagine that? That is how black people stay. The ANC, one of the ANC policies was to tumble buildings, not people. Meanwhile, these white guys around the corner was practicing how to kill black people and left the building them. It's a serious thing. Like when they have a neutron bomb. The neutron bomb wipe out people and left the building. You ever heard a bomb there? The neutron bomb. Yeah, them make bomb where kill the people them and left the building them. That is how wicked these people think. So when we talk, watch it. Tuskegee experiment, I'm giving you homework for God. We'll find out about the Tuskegee experiment. We'll find out about this man where we just read about a while ago in South Africa. We'll find out about Ebola. And many other diseases where you hear people say, well, I don't want to go to Africa because disease and this and that and that. Most of them are created. It was like the Black Plague. The Black Plague was how them are living in Europe. 75% of the population of Europe get wiped out with something named the Black Plague. 75% of the population of Europe get wiped out because of that plague. And then eventually these people who was plagued with the Black Plague start to kill people who them feel say wasn't Christian and say them cause it with them and Christian like thinking and Christian like that. So them go around and kill people because them in them thinking I say, like all me now, them would have crucify me and raise me from the dead and crucify me again. The way how me attack or how me behave or how me think, I could not be in Europe during the medieval times. You'd have to go hide in some cranny looking place. When you go to Europe, you can't see the places them where the people them used to live in. Them wasn't hygienic. Them wasn't hygienic. You know, see it. So through them wasn't hygienic. This thing take over Europe. And them start to put it to religion. Them say it's a curse on the people them. And there was a time in Germany when them used to have this thing where you have hundreds of men walking on the street without shirt and use whip and whip them back. And pay penance. Whip them back and you see blood run upon them back because them have to pay penance. Because of the cruelty and the wickedness. These are the things that these people do. So don't take it lightly when you hear we talk about food security. Because meanwhile we are looking on the gunman. More than likely gunman now coming at your house, But your food coming at your house. How much time you can say? The food coming to your house. And if you're not regulating what you eating and what your children then eating, you're going to sick. And the point is not that if you eat good food or eat healthy, you're not going to go dead, Because we're not stupid. We're not fool and say, because you eat this and that, you're not going to go dead. No, the whole of you go dead. But guess what? It's the uncomfortable living that you run from. The agony of doctor. The agony of pain. And all of these things can be diminished. You can really diminish that. If you just know, boy, right now, there's food out there that we should keep far from, and we must read the label. Read the label. Black people in Jamaica don't like read the label and don't take up something. The reason why the people then put something on the label is because they want you read it. You have woman don't go look how much calories in the something. I don't get no calories. Yes. A man go buy a burger with all sort of meat in it and then go buy a diet Pepsi. What the hell am doing? What him did? After him done yam down the burger, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, him say him order a diet Pepsi or a diet Coke. What is that? What can that do? What can that do? It's a madness. Total madness. Click it there. I have a tune, but I have a tune by George Nooks. George Nooks sing over Dennis Brown and Barbara Janai. Now, you see, sometimes when a man really don't know him, but here we know. The tune say Barbara Janai, he's my father, Barbara Janai, he's my God and he's my king. And then through George Nooks want to skip out the Haile Selassie part. Him don't say Haile Selassie, him say the Almighty. So him say Baba Janai and then him say the Almighty is my father. Instead of him say Haile Selassie, him say that. So him almost like him escape this Haile Selassie name. Well, I can tell George Nooks something now. When you say Baba Janai is my father, he's my king, is Haile Selassie you're talking about still, Virgin, because you are. Baba Janai is the name of Haile Selassie in Ethiopia. Baba means father. Janai is the name of them called Haile Selassie in Ethiopia. So, if you didn't know, you would have really left out all the Baba Janai too. And that is really the paradox of the situation. That trying to escape the Haile Selassie and don't recognize that when Dennis Brown sing Baba Janai, there's only one man named Baba Janai, and that is Haile Selassie. You understand? So, I don't know who produced the tune. I think it's Jermaine produced the tune, but somebody should have really inform him that when him say Baba Janai, him still has say Haile Selassie is the father, is the king. So when him go down and skip out the Haile Selassie and say Almighty, it don't make no difference to the song. The song is bigging up Haile Selassie. And Haile Selassie's name in Ethiopia is Father Janai or Baba Janai. Okay. And here me I go tell Gregory, go tell George Nooks say me a fight against him, you know. Me just show him a clarification in the song. Right? So don't bother come turn the thing in a Muta fight against George Nooks. No, Muta said that the information that is necessary to make the tune a different tune from Dennis Brown singing it would be best if him never did put a Baba Janai in it. Alright.